Welcome to the channel, presented by the Beeline Entertainment, LLC. Enjoy the show.
People, what's good? Yo, check it out. Welcome to the Beeline ENT, LLC. What we got for you? First off, we got the Beeline Web Show on Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, talking a little of everything. Then we got Straight Through the Ropes, STR, baby, Wrestle Talk, where we talk all things pro wrestling. Next up, we got the Show Off Show, that's right, the Beeline ENT Entertainment. And then on Sunday nights, we going live on the line with that group panel discussion. Check us out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Head on over to YouTube and subscribe. Also, pick up some merch. The Beeline ENT LLC. Let's go.
Everybody should know. Check it out. Your boy Brian B is trying to go live on TikTok, baby. Follow the Beeline ENT. Head on over to my channel. We got a lot of content. I'm doing a lot of stuff, and I'm gonna
WTW Wrestle Talk Wednesdays.
Check it out. First at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, we got the Commission Talks, baby. Me, Brian B, Warren Marlowe, the American Prodigy, and of course, your man Dre on Wheels from the 1130 podcast, talking that wrestling. Yeah, join us Wednesdays. And after that, of course, you got STR Nation, baby, Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk. Brian B, Slim, Lay, Ray, that's right. Come join us. Leave your comments, fantasy book, and show the world who you care about in pro wrestling. Wednesday nights, WTW. Let's go.
Stacked. You can whisper behind my back. You can show me how the odds are up against me all day long. You can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. My feet have come too far for you.
Get more W. That Gentlest energy drink mix that's going to power you through your gaming, content creation, whatever you're doing, is there for you. Enter that promo code BrianB, and get 10% off your order today. Get more W, get more power.
Yes, you are, yes, you are, yes, you are the only one, 'cause there's something special about you.
Check it out, people, check it out. Yo, listen, what a day. It's been a day. Yo, it's been a day, man. Another Wednesday, that is. WTW. We back at it. That's right, we talking that wrestling. We just had commission talk, so it's 9 o'clock Eastern time. That means it's time to go straight through the ropes with the Wrestle Talk. Yo, we got the crew here today. Some of the crew is under the weather, so I don't think they're going to be joining us tonight, unfortunately. But, you know, we still got big things to do, and we going to talk with somebody that's new to the scene because he's over there doing big things, and he getting through the ropes for real and taking bumps and brass knuckles in his hand. Yo, he kicking ass, so I don't know what he got to do. So, listen, it's been a lot of craziness happening today, so I'm just gonna kind of just vibe with it and just let it rock, man. I mean, it's Wrestle Talk Wednesday. Anything can happen. Yo, let me bring up to the scene right now the man who's with us. He got the bow tie back on, so you know he's back there working hard again. Yo, my tag team partner, Mr. Slim Jefferson. What up, Slim?
Big dog, how you doing, man?
Chilling, bro. I sat there and I've been re-going through the whole show and putting stuff together, and I sat there and forgot to put the damn entrance back into our thing. So we had to go at it without the entrance today, but we good. We know our song. Dun, 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 dun. Yo, amps us up though, that whole Jay Uso vibe and shit. What's good, bro?
Not much, man. Coming off of a good spring break, got a chance to refresh, relax, and rejuvenate the mind and the spirit a little bit.
For real.
Spent some time with some family, spent some time with my little brother,
Yeah.
and then got the house straight. So I was excited.
That's what's
Feeling like money, like Mercedes Monet, who just made her debut a couple of minutes ago.
Saw that, right? Shout out to her, man. We just talked about that a little bit on commission, man. Listen, I'm a fan of Sasha Banks. I'm surprised she did it so early. They ain't waste no time with that. But she jumped right out in the scene. Mercedes Moné definitely has made her AEW appearance, and looks like she's over there. I mean, I didn't get to see all of it. Did anybody come out? Did she talk shit to anybody or?
I mean, as far as I saw from the highlights in the pages I follow, she just basically typical babyface promo. I'm here. I'm the CEO, and I'm coming for gold. So, I mean, I think Sasha, Mercedes, is going to shake up that division. They got a lot of good talent down there. One match I really want to see is her versus Britt Baker down the road. I would love to see her versus Toni Storm. She's already got a story with Willow Nightingale right now, and the
broke her damn foot,
and the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, the American thing they're doing for New Japan over here, has called her out. So that'll be interesting. But I think she's going to be good for AEW. This kind of kills all those rumors that she's going to come back and help Bayley win at WrestleMania, but I didn't expect that at all.
Terrible. I didn't expect her to come back at WrestleMania. I was one of the ones that was changed, especially when the whole damage control thing was going strong. I thought they were definitely going to reform the Four Horsewomen, man. I thought it was open for it, but Charlotte got injured, and after that, I don't know if that was ever the plan, but I knew it definitely wasn't the plan after that. So, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm excited because it's new. And I definitely am a fan of Sasha Banks, man. This Mercedes Moné, same person, but different character. I mean, I'll see what happens. Like, I'm not trying to be a hater or nothing, man, but I'm just like, Sasha Banks is famous. Mercedes Moné is different. We're going to see what happens, man. AEW doesn't have this, with me, AEW doesn't have the strongest foundation in building characters, man. I hope that she can really pull it forward. I mean, she's talented as shit. But I don't just rely on. We just had this whole conversation, and guys, if you was watching earlier, like it's more than just talent. You got to be able to create your character. You got to be able to have character development and put your shit in storylines. And actually, the wrestler we're gonna talk to today, one of the things I'm noticing about like what he does, like even his energy with his pictures and stuff like that is like it's direct, like it speaks to you, like you see it. You're like, who the fuck is this guy? He looks crazy and shit. Like, but I don't want to keep him waiting. We're gonna bring him into the room too. Slim, we're gonna get to know this pro wrestler on with us today, and pick his brain. He actually performed in AEW. I don't even think not that long ago, but we don't get to know everything he's doing. So coming straight through the ropes, we got Wes Maserati Barkley. What up, Wes?
Yes, sir. Hey, appreciate you having me on. Great intro. You guys got me fired up. I know it's a little late now, but you got me fired up. So I appreciate you having me on, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely glad that you came on, bro. We appreciate, showcasing up and coming indie talent, and like I was just saying, like you got a lot of interesting. One thing that caught my attention with you is like you got a lot of interesting portfolio. Like on Facebook, you got a lot of like up-to-date pictures. They're not just like fan-based pictures. But they're actually, you put quality into your shit. So
I appreciate that. The thing about Facebook too, and I appreciate you reaching out to do this, you know what I mean? But the thing with Facebook, I didn't realize that I didn't have it hooked up with my Instagram. So I was posting most of this on my Instagram, and then I was like, I've been missing out this whole time. So now I start posting more on Facebook, and maybe, that's how we linked up. So I appreciate that. But I'm just putting out there stuff that I would like you guys kind of went over it. At the end of the day, this is about wrestling. I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. And
Yes.
I'm just trying to give what I would be entertained by. So I appreciate you even fucking with the pictures. Am I allowed to swear on here? It's too late.
Hey, Slim.
We're
Yo,
good, right?
West. Yeah, we
right.
free talking in here, bro.
All right.
Yeah, definitely. Feel
That's
free to
my
speak your
earliest.
piece.
That's my earliest one I've gotten out. So hey,
There you go. Nah,
yes,
you
sir.
straight. Yeah, you straight. Yeah, we free talking here. We don't like to hold no
right.
boundaries, man.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm Brian B. I host the B Line.
Yep.
Straight through the ropes is our Wrestle Talk show. That's my man Slim Jefferson. He's been on with
Double
me rocking
J.
for
Double J.
yeah,
Slim.
double J. Oh shit! He gave you
J
a
double.
nickname.
You switch it with the J double. We'll just go J double and not trademark.
Hey.
There you go.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. When I was at Revolution last Sunday, I did the Jarrett strut when he was in the ring with it. I had to, bro.
Oh,
That's
man,
my guy.
might,
That's my guy.
Listen, Slim, we might have a shirt. I might have a shirt and everything. Fuck that.
There you go.
He just put that a double J double. I'm feeling that.
Switch it. Yep.
Oh man, that was some dope shit. Yo, but enough about us, man. So Wes, like, I'm really glad. Once again, thank you for coming on.
Sure.
Wanted to kind of give you the shine and like let you speak about. You said you've been a fan of pro wrestling your whole life. Let's start off by just like introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and then we'll kind of get into your history.
Yeah, so I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I started training at the AIW Academy, Absolute Intense Wrestling, based here in Cleveland. I made my debut in May of 2018. So coming up on 6 years now.
Nice.
Done some pretty cool stuff in the 6 years. COVID happened in there, so it kind of messed some years up. But right after COVID, after having all that go on, I was just like, I got to be going 150%. So ever since then, I've kind of just been hitting my stride, and I've gotten some great matchups and great opportunities to, show what I got. You kind of mentioned it. I did a couple shots for AEW, which was an amazing experience. And then just some stuff around the indies that's been awesome. I've been pretty much all over the Midwest, but I still have so much to hit, so much to learn, so much to do.
Yeah.
So we're really only hitting the iceberg. We're scratching it, but no
That's
Titanic
awesome.
hitting it yet. You know what I mean?
Listen, bro. Hey, you starting with wrestling, man. One of the craziest things, and I used to do a lot of mixed martial arts training.
Okay.
I was not a fighter or anything like that, whatever. But I used to train I used to love UFC, and I just wanted to do the shit. So I used to do that a lot. And one of the things about like putting in that dedication, that hard work, to like instead of just watching it and being fans like we are, like being able to say, yo, listen, fuck it, I'm going after it. Like I want to try. I want to see what happens. What was the first thing that like gave you that impulse? Like, hey, I'm gonna just jump into the ring. Like, let's go.
That's what it was. You know what I mean? Like there was something like impulse or something that hit me probably honestly when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Right. I was stone cold for Halloween in kindergarten, I remember. So it's just like, bro, as soon as I saw it on TV, I saw George the Animal Steel, right? He was biting some corner. So I was born in 94, so I'm 30 years old. So I remember seeing that and being scared shitless. And they had the green tongue. I'm like, what is this? But ever since then, I was like hooked on wrestling. So then I remember like, I can't, change the channel as a kid. I'm not even that old, but I remember seeing it and it would stay on if I'm hitting the switches. And it was like WCW and, seeing Scott Hall and even Disco Inferno. Those were the two guys that stuck out to me. You know what I mean? Right.
I like this guy a lot.
And then flipping another day or something later and seeing Stone Cold and The Rock when he threw the belt into the lake.
Yes.
So these are like the moments that are sticking out. You know what I mean? So that, and then it just like, I start getting more and more into it. And probably when I was like, 5 or 6 years old, I'm like, this is what I want to be when I grow up. This is what I'm going to do. And I always knew I was going to do it. And shit just kind of happened and got in the way. Like parents wanting to go to college and stuff. I wanted to start training at 18, but I'm grateful for those life experiences because those have helped me in the wrestling game, you know what I mean? In and out of the ring. So, started when I was like 22 years old. Maybe 23, and then I was really hitting my stride at training, and then I did a move wrong and fractured my back. I actually broke my L2 vertebrae, right? So I was on the shelf, but I didn't even make my debut yet. So I was like, you know what? I'm not letting this stop me. They had me in some jabroni ass back brace. The doctor, they had me doing this shit, and then I healed through it, made my debut, and we've been rolling. And like I said, since COVID, we've been really hitting our stride. So.
Bro, that's awesome. That's an awesome story, man.
Thank you. I just was throwing it all out to you. I got fired up when I started hearing about Stone Cold.
I'm gonna pick it apart too.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah, I really like the one thing that stood out to me at the beginning was you said that somebody who brought you into wrestling and scared you. That I've been doing this show for a while now, and just talking to people wrestling a lot.
Yeah,
you're the first person I've ever heard that George the Animal Steel.
One
of the first people who got you into wrestling. Like
Yeah.
people don't talk about him too much.
Yeah. He was biting that turnbuckle and all the foam and everything was going. So I
That
was
shit was
hooked.
crazy.
And he turned right and he had that tongue and I was like, what the? I'm freaking out. Like, what is that? You never seen that before. So
Slim, you remember George, right? Like all the shit he used to do.
Yeah, like it's got to be 1 second.
Yeah.
I was trying to think one that aired. I was trying to like bring it back, but they always put like replays on, and what I mean. You never know. It was some like WWF clip or something.
Yeah, for real.
I remember George. I thought it was like crazy seeing the dude with more hair on his back and chest
than his head.
For sure.
But yeah, like that's interesting because it's like when you think about people scaring the shit out of you, you always get like Sting, The Undertaker, Kane, even Papa Shango back in the day. So like for George Animal still to do that in you was crazy.
Yeah, and Taker was next. So that was like right around the corner, getting some VHS, and Taker was putting Stone Cold on the T gimmick thing.
Oh,
that was, I was like, whoa, that scared me. But it was like a good scare where you're like, I want to watch though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're freaked out, but you're like, what's about to happen? And again, I'm like 4 or 5 years old, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah, young watching it. I remember like I tell everybody, one of the biggest things of Undertaker that I remember to this day is always him and Yokozuna having that casket match, and when he came out that fucking that damn Titantron screen or whatever, the LED screen,
right?
And bro, that was one of the creepiest things. I remember me like in my head like, how the fuck is this happening? Like I thought it was real. I'm sitting like, how did he's in the casket? I was little, man. I had no idea.
Yeah, and it's pre-internet days. You know what I mean?
Bro,
so now
exactly.
Got phones and shit. They're
kayfabe hard.
Exactly. You got to get over that. But now you see that on VHS and even entertainment for that matter. You know what I mean? They weren't doing the crazy AI special effects like they got
very
movies
true.
Now. So that's like you're like, whoa! But that dude, we came in the best time for wrestling because of that stuff.
I'll tell you.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
I remember when there was a whole storyline where the entire episode of Raw was Undertaker kidnapping Stephanie.
Oh yeah, crazy.
And Vince had the entire corporation going after him for
the whole world watching that probably was like by their phone though, ready to call 911 if they were close though. You know what I mean? Like everybody was hooked, even when Pillman in Austin.
That shit was was another crazy ass moment that a lot of people know about, but a lot of people don't speak about that as much.
Yeah.
When he had got the gun on and they got in so much USA got in so much trouble for that stunt.
That's some crazy shit.
That shit was wild.
When he made Vince piss himself on live television
with the bang gun.
Yeah.
Hell, yo, listen, bro. That's one thing I love, talking to people about who come on here, like their journey and their experience, like what started them into their passion for pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's why when you said George Animal Steel, I was like, literally, I remember watching George. One of my biggest things was when he was in love with Mrs. Elizabeth and he was chasing Miss Elizabeth.
Oh yeah, he was hooked, right?
That shit was, bro. Like I grew up on this shit. I know Slim too. Slim knows everything. But so you started, and another thing you were saying, like, you started your journey right around this crazy ass time and the whole COVID stuff, like the world starts shutting down. Yeah. And for wrestling, even though there's no more territories like it was, like you still have different areas where you wrestle. You still got different promotions, smaller promotions, bigger promotions. So this is the time where you want to be taking advantage of traveling and going to different places and having your face seen. That's how you get your promotion.
Exactly.
So what were the challenges that you were facing? Did you find yourself still doing it locally, or were you just cutting that shit out completely?
They're like shows. They weren't completely cut. They were spare though. Scarce. They were like once a month, once every 2 or 3 months at times. You know what I mean? When it was like COVID. We had the training school, which was eligible to still train at if everyone, did all the protocols and all that. So I was still getting the ring a decent amount, but the shows weren't there. But that was more just like recovering and seeing how the world was going to go. But we already were, we had a good little schedule before that, and we were starting to pick up some steam, and then COVID. So it really set me back like a year and a half. But during that time, I was still like, either working out or trying to study as much tape as possible. So when it did start back up, it was go time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always something that's always going to be a a reoccurring, conversation, because it is a time period that it halted a lot of shit. It also influenced a lot of stuff too,
For
because a lot
sure.
of people may have found slowed down enough to find out, hey, I want to be a pro wrestler. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many discoveries of people who said, listen, I'm going to work out, and when it gets over, I'm going to go try to be a wrestler.
For sure.
But you also said that your injury happened, and that's something, pro wrestling, any kind of contact sport or physical activity, like, the first thing you need is an active body. If you don't got that shit, you can forget about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how much did that affect you, like mentally, even you getting hurt, like at the beginning of your career, watching, having all the dreams and all the aspirations, and then it's like, my back, fuck.
Yeah, it was like 6 months in, and I was starting to really get rolling. And I was like, I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to have my first match. You know what I mean? So confidence was at a high, to be honest. It happened, and I've never really been in that much. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever been in that much pain. You know what I mean? It was like a weird pain, right? So then, I was like, they're like, get out of the ring. I'm like, all right. So I'm out of the ring, and I'm like, damn, that really hurt. And then, we went and ate after. I was like limping and shit. And then the next day I just woke up. I couldn't like move. So when I came back, it was just like, you're wary at first because you're falling on your back a lot. You know what I mean? So it just took some time. And I've really been on the recovery wave since then, even before then a little bit. But now I'm like hyper focused on that and doing anything, because even when it healed, they fucked it up. Right. And since we're past 9 o'clock, I'm hitting as many swear words as I want. You're getting the uncensored, unfiltered West.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm just going. I'm just get going. All right.
Yeah. We're gonna get into all that shit. So trust me. Go ahead.
So
let it fly.
They had me in this brace, right? And I had to wear it for like, I think it was like 8 weeks, 6 weeks, somewhere in there. Something that seems reasonable, right? And then we go to the doctor, they do an x-ray or whatever, and he's like, all right, you're good. I'm like, what's up? He's like, yeah, you're good to go back to wrestling. I'm like, awesome. He's like, all right, see ya. I was just like, that's weird. Like no physical therapy, no rehab. Like you had me just banged up in this brace. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I just kind of was doing my own thing, working out. So I do debut. And then like 1 or 2, 3 months into the debut, I fall funny and I just feel like another little pop something. Right. And I was walking it off, and I was wrestling, every week since then. But I was just like, trouble getting out of bed and shit, right? So I went to this chiropractor because I was like, I need to get something. This is getting bad, like I'm messed up. So I go to this chiropractor, and he does the x-rays and everything. And he's like, they just had you in a brace. They didn't give you any physical therapy or anything. Your core is just not engaged because you're wearing this brace to hold you up. You're not using any of your body to brace, right? So long story short, he's like, we got to work on that. And that's really what got me healed. And that's been my focus since. So honestly, ever since doing that, working more exercises for mobility and strengthening, I've felt more confident and more comfortable. And but again, you never know when you're getting a little sore. You got to be wary. So that was the long answer to a short question. I'm sorry.
No. I'm glad you said that, because like we say, like we have people. I know Slim wants to ask a question, but we have people who watch the show also, man. So it's like a lot of times, you don't know who you're influencing and shit. So it's like your story right now. You having back problems at the beginning of your career. There's a lot of people who would just say, "Oh, fuck this, man. I'm not going through this," and just stop right there.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so you driving through that passion is definitely speaking on your character.
Yeah.
So
and you said it at the beginning too. It's like, I always knew I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
So I feel like with anybody that, when they get that feeling, whatever it is, you know what I mean? They want to be a firefighter. They want to be an accountant. They're going to rock with it if they really want to do it. And they're really, it's their purpose. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. What you got, Slim?
So to piggyback off a couple of Brian's questions,
when
you told me you were coming on the show and you showed me your picture,
like
I knew I had seen you somewhere before, but I couldn't place it.
Okay.
And once I typed your name in on YouTube, the first thing that pops up is this collision match between you or tagging with somebody against Aussie Open.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
So my question would be like, since you have been on the independents and actually worked for AEW for a certain point, what has been the hardest, and for our viewers out there who don't know from, they might just see it from the AEW WWE saying, they might not see it from the independent scene. What's the hardest thing to go from your training in day one to get where you are at now?
Mm.
Damn,
Good question.
that was a great question.
Good
That was
question.
a great question. It's just there's so much competition, right? You got to be in the right place at the right time. But when you are in the right place at the right time, you got to be ready to go. You know what I mean? This is your one shot. I had that shot with AEW. I mean, I've done some stuff with them since, but no TV or matches. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
maybe I could have went harder, but you never know. So now it's just whatever I can do. I'll do whatever it takes. That's what's key. Do whatever it takes to get there again or get to being on TV. That's my goal, is wrestling on TV. But I would say it's just, you know, giving 110%, 100% of the time. I know it sounds cliche, but you got to be studying all the tape. What's new, what's old, you know what I mean? Find out who you're going to be and what opening you're going to fill. This is a TV show. They got 2 hours. Raw's got 3 hours, right?
Yep.
Who are you going to be? Raw's pretty stacked, right? Like, you look at the commercial graphic gimmick and it's got the 5 and the 5. You're like, I don't really know. These guys are all top guys and girls. And then you look at SmackDown and you're like, The Rock's there. Okay,
how the fuck you going to make an impression, right?
He can have 2 hours, and I'm watching, bro. No commercial breaks. I don't care. So you got you know, LA Knight. You know, I'm just saying the guys I like. So, and then, you know, even like you guys were saying, AEW with Sasha Banks, Monet, you know, showing up today. It's stacked. It's stacked all around. So it's just, what was I saying? Watch as much tape, study, you know, but you got to know your spot, right? So you got to make something that other people aren't doing. And I'm still trying to figure out what my spot's going to be. Right now, I'm just pushing me out there and seeing what sticks and what people like. And, you know, I go to different towns, like you were saying. I'm in Canada, I'm in Chicago, Cleveland, and there's different crowds, and we're just going with the flow. That's what I like to do. But everyone's, you know, wrestling's like everyone's got their own flavor. You know, whatever you like, you rock with it. So
I want to Slim's point, because I like, my bad, Slim. If you want to I want to piggyback off of you as well, because we were just talking about that with Sasha Banks, and like, you know, and what you're saying is like, you know, switching your character and developing your character is such an important part of pro wrestling, because, you know, you can be the most talented individual on the planet, but at the end of the day, and not for nothing, this is just an extra point to my point. If you do get injured or something does happen, but you have a phenomenal character, there's other places that you can be placed in because of your character. You know what I mean? Like, you can be a manager. You could be a fucking commentator. You can be somebody if your personality's showing. But if you're only relying on just your physical attributes, then it is very difficult. So I definitely do understand, like, you know, one thing I wanted to ask you was, how do you, I see you as, like, you know, like I said, even in your pictures and everything like that, I see you as, you definitely come off very strong, like, you, as far as your personality and stuff like that. Even when you speak on here, I can tell you are engaging as a wrestler. Like, you can tell.
Thanks. Yeah.
But how do you find, like, you know, when you're in the indie scene and you're going out, when you're attention to crowds, do you work better with your heel work, or do you try to work with your babyface shit?
I would say probably heel, honestly. Like, that's just
everybody want to be a bad guy, bro.
That's not even that. I'm because you know, I had to think about it when you asked me that, because, you know, sometimes the flight gets delayed, or the travel, the car isn't right, and I show up to Chicago an hour before the show. I haven't eaten. I need a coffee, and I'm pretty pissed off. And when I hit that curtain, I can let that show, and if they want to boo me, so be it. I'll smoke their hometown guy. That's cool. I go to Canada. I wear all the USA gear, so I'm just representing. You know, if Canada wants to boo me, I'll smoke the hometown guy. I don't care. So wherever you put me, wherever you slice me, I'm being me. And you said it came off a little strong. Sometimes it comes off a little brash, but the real ones know, and that's who rocks with me. So I'll rock with them. But if you want to boo me, I hope you're ready to talk some smack, because, you know.
That's right. Y'all heard what he said. If you're ready to talk some smack, you better get it there.
Yeah.
Because we ain't even get to his fucking move list yet. No. He already about to crack.
No. Exactly. Buy one, get one free is what I'm saying.
There you go. Get it. Let's go. I'm ready to go. I want to be your fucking manager right now.
Hey, man.
Go ahead, Slim.
You bring the energy.
So you mentioned the word, we were talking just a few minutes ago, study. Who are some of the wrestlers that you study, or, you know, who you study film to make yourself better?
So, and when I was saying that, the one thing that, you know, some people watching might be like, oh, Wes doesn't watch anything new, because that was for a moment, I didn't watch anything going on. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
My dudes were like, you got to watch the current stuff. And I stay into it a little bit. So maybe I'm being a little hypocritical by saying that. But what I'm watching, man, is I watch a lot of Scott Hall, right? I watch a lot of
Legend.
I mean, NWO Hogan when he came back is really what I've been watching lately, when he came back to and work The Rock and all that. So that's who I like watching personally right now. Jeff Jarrett is one of my all-time favorites, so I always am watching him. But sometimes I try to find some obscure stuff. You know, I don't even want to sound like that, but I'll try to find some random, you know, Sunday Night Heats or Jacked. You know what I mean? Like, I try to find these
Shotgun
matches.
Saturday nights.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because,
I know what you're talking about.
You know, they're on a time crunch, right? And it's before Raw usually, or after Raw, so the crowd is still electric, right?
Yeah,
so it's pretty cool to think about it in that aspect. But it's just right now what I'm studying is TV wrestling, right? I'm breaking down TV wrestling as much as I can, because like you mentioned, when I wrestled at Aussie Open at AEW, that was on TV, and I'm trying to break down what it would be like with, you know, TV and how to structure how I want to do my thing.
For sure.
You know what I mean? For a TV audience to get, you know, whatever.
No, I definitely get what you're saying, because like you were saying before, you have to, because if you're aiming for that, you got to know what to do to get there, and that is an important aspect. You can't just be a fucking wrestler and just be wrestling and think that you're going to be, you know, in the top highlight, you know, spots.
Yeah.
You have to, you know, study the actual work that it takes.
And I know Slim, you're trying to get in. I'm sorry, but I study like other stuff too, though. It's like movies and stuff that, like music, even like just stuff that sticks out to me about people I admire and like how they move. And I kind of just bring that in subconsciously. So I just wanted to get
like that shit. I like that.
Yeah. Something just sparked this on my brain. Like this question I just had to ask. So like, with you coming from the independent scene and going to quote unquote the big companies like AEW, is it like, okay, here's the indie guy, you know, what do you want to do tonight? Or is it like, okay, kid, like,
I'm curious about that too.
I mean, most of the time, most of the time the guys came through the indies too, or have done shows on the indies. So if you can go, you can go. You know what I mean? That's how it is at the end of the day. If you can go, you can go. But at the end of the day, again, you're there to do a job for TV and a role, and I play my role. So, you know, it all depends on the time and all that. Again, it's back to the TV audience, and these guys are contracted wrestlers, and I'm just there, you know, once or twice. So, you know what I mean?
Being going since 2018 with that same kind of mentality, like, how many of the people that you are seeing today that we've seen recently, even, you know, get their call-ups or get their AEW call-ups and shit like that, how many of them have you worked with?
Well, when I was coming up, I was on a lot of shows with Lee Moriarty. You know, he's over there in AEW. Danhausen, I've wrestled him. We've been on some shows together. Yeah. Let's see. Recently, in the last year, I wrestled Joey Janela, but I was always seeing him when I was coming up.
Okay.
In AEW. And then my first official wrestling match, first singles match. Yeah, my first singles match. I was in like a scramble for my debut. My first singles match official was against Eddie Kingston. And
shit, okay.
yeah, he beat me up pretty bad, but that's how I came into the game. Yeah. And then Britt Baker, she was training with us when, you know, she was like on shows and right when I first started training. So we've always had a connection. She's awesome. She was the main event of that show that I was on against Aussie Open. And then we did like a tag match once. That was pretty epic. It was me and my tag team partner, Joshua Bishop and Dominic Carini, and Britt Baker versus my dudes, Philly and Marino. They were on the bad side that night, but we're boys now. Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona in a 4-on-4 craziness match. That was pretty epic. So
I bet.
Yeah,
some of them are really, really fucking incredible. I saw it was a match on TikTok earlier with Io Shirai and Pentagon. Wrestling.
Wow.
Fucking brutal match, bro. In Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Yo, man. Have you go ahead, Slim.
But
please ask away.
We're vibing.
Like you just mentioned like a person who did the reverse style of kind of what you're doing, Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
So like,
to
like seeing somebody who basically was in the machine
Right.
and essentially wasn't used properly or basically typecast pretty much for his career, and then essentially just set free and becomes like this indie guy.
That's hey,
Just how it is.
Straight
That's just
up.
how it
Like you
was.
just hit it because he came in and I was one of his first matches in. It was a 4-on-4, a reverse 4-on-4. It was me and Josh Bishop again, my brother, and then Colin Delaney and Cheech, who are 2 Infinity and Beyond, great tag team, and versus Smart Mark Sterling, he's in AEW, Hornswoggle, Brian Myers, who was in WWE, as Kurt Hawkins, and Cardona. It was a 4-on-4. It was in Cleveland. It was a crazy crowd. I'm grateful for that experience. Cardona came in hot. He was beating me up. Ever since then, I'm like, all right, I got this dude's number. I'm going to smoke him. You said it right. He came from WWE, but he's just doing shit his way, and he loves wrestling. That, you know what I mean? Like, everybody that is like the best at sports and entertainment, they love what they do, and they're just going harder than everybody else. So when you said that about AEW earlier, Cardona's the perfect example. He's gone harder than anybody else. He's always promoting himself. He's always coming up with new stuff. He's always switching his gimmicks up. Right now, I'm more in a phase of still like evolving, right? I'm just keep evolving slowly and surely. But he's always he's got you, always. So
Fluid,
Cardona has taught me a lot. I'm trying to like watch what I say because I want to wrestle his ass again, right? But I've been so lucky to get in there with him. We wrestled like 5 or 6 times total, which I'm super grateful for. We did a singles match, and he was part of a moment that really changed my career. I used to have this crazy long hair, and he came out, and Brian Myers came out, and Chelsea came out, and they cut my hair, and it was unreal. Shit. Yeah. Then we went and did good business and did a tag match, me and Josh Bishop, again, my dude, versus Cardona and Myers, and that was a crazy brawl. And then we kept on ice for a minute, and I finally got my rematch wrestling Cardona in November of 2022. So it was a minute ago, and got the pin on him, and I've been rolling since. So yeah, he's awesome. But he has put a fucking shot into the indies when he came back. That's the other thing, right? So he came from the machine, and he just came in hot, and he elevates everybody. Yeah. And he was the NWA champ. EC3 is a great NWA champ. I'll say that. Yeah. But when Cardona was the champ too, he was at every show just, working with, I don't know, EC3 and him are doing. We'll see what happens with them. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like, that is one of the things that you look at. Yeah. They really do, because just like you just said, like EC3 is another one, man. He finds so much success in like the other promotions, but then when it comes to like it does show you, like, even though there's most wrestlers, I feel confident saying this, most wrestlers feel like WWE is the top of the mountain. Like, you like, that's the number one spot, that's the fucking originator, like that's where everything came from. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you do have to take the bad with the good in that situation. You don't have, as we've seen, and what we hear from, like, you don't have as much, individualism when you're doing that. You have to be part of the fucking brand. So it's like guys like Matt Cardona, who, he found success in WWE without a doubt. But like you said,
guy success,
completely different, like, individual completely in the indie scene, like death matches. He could still be funny. He could still get on and talk about wrestling toys, and then he marries fucking Chelsea Green. He gets lucky as shit. And I'm like, it's just crazy. Like, there's so many like different ways you can look at your success. It doesn't have to necessarily just be inside a promotion. EC3 is another one. Like, he didn't find no success in WWE, man, unfortunately, because I feel like he's talented as shit. I loved his gimmick when he first came in. Yeah. When it was the whole business suit and the fucking Miami Beach fucking house and all that stuff. I was like, listen, bro, this guy, he can be potential, like,
for sure.
But they ain't do him right.
Really good. Like,
they were.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, like, don't mix politics and wrestling. That whole, people get caught up in that whole CYN movement thing he was trying to do. And my thing was, like, I looked at EC3 ever since he was in TNA. When he was playing that whole Dixie Carter's my auntie, so I'm like the rich nephew character. Like, a little bit, to me, EC3 was a bit of a precursor to MJF. Pompous, snotty, like, just
3 letters.
I know I have more money than like
number.
And I think that
for sure.
I think he gets a lot of flack because, like, number one, a lot of people have lost faith in the NWA. They don't feel like Billy Corgan runs it correctly. That's not up to me to decide, but that's up to me. I've always been a big fan of the NWA title. Brian knows it. I feel like it's the true heavyweight title. I feel like Big Gold is a little bit overrated. That's just my opinion. I know people are gonna kill me in the comments.
I'll be having it soon.
But I just feel like it's like really, really cool to like, see like these classic promotions where it was like Dusty and Flair. And now it's like, at the time before Cardona, it was Tyus holding that thing down. And then, like, I ain't gonna lie, what got me back in the NWA was when Cody went on his indie run, and him and Nick Aldis had a battle over the 10 pounds of gold at the first All In. That's what made me an NWA fan again.
Yeah.
Yo, Cody is I've said this shit before. To me, Cody Rhodes is the one who established the indie scene. And I know that indie was happening before that, but as far as putting it on the map and like really making people pay attention to it, yo, when that All In shit happened and everything like that, whatever was called the original one, when that shit happened and they sold all of those fucking tickets, I remember hearing that shit on the radio while I was driving, and it wasn't WWE, it was something completely different in WWE's fucking world at that point. And you saw Cody Rhodes with the blonde hair pushed back, and that was the image that you saw. And then people really started talking about the indie scene in at least the higher professional wrestling scene.
That's a good point. I didn't think about it like that. That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, and another thing too is just the two things I wanted to throw in on there were that you can get money on the indies or not just in WWE, right? So those guys are showing that you can do that. And then NWA is a great promotion. I've done a couple shots for them as well. Would love to go back there. I think they are crushing it. They're doing some really good stuff. And EC3 showing why he's the champ. You know what I mean? He's crushing it too. So.
Yeah, great characters, man. Great character development,
and they're building territories too, which is crazy to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
cool.
That's cool. That's definitely super awesome. I mean, it is definitely an interesting take. Talking to somebody who hasn't made it. A lot of people aspire to be like, oh, I want to talk to The Rock, and of course you want to talk to those guys, but it is still awesome to be able to speak with somebody who's up and coming, who is having matches with Matt Cardona, who's meeting Chelsea Green and Britt Baker and all of these people. Like you just said, bro, you went and did your AEW, matches that you've had so far. That's just one thing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. We never know when we're going to be looking at Wes and be like, yo, I remember I was sitting there fucking talking to him, and you never know where your career. Obviously, you're passionate about this shit. Obviously, you're mixing it up with the people who are doing it correctly. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You having a match with Matt Cardona. Are you looking at a death match? You trying to get some?
So that's the other thing. That's the other thing that I wanted to mention. You said he was on. He was doing his WWE thing. When he was in WWE, I was doing the shit he was doing now. I beat Nick Gage while he was a hype bro. I looked through my tweets.
Really?
I pinned Nick Gage when Cardona was still teaming with Mojo Rawley. That's the clip. That's the clip. You send that out to the dirt sheets. That's the clip. Yeah.
Holy shit.
It was like a 3-on-3 warfare. But I went toe to toe with Gage a couple times. He's busted me open. It was crazy. Yeah. So really? I mean, yeah, it was we've done some matches together. It's next level for sure. Right now I'm just I'm not really doing the death matches. I mean, if Cardona really wanted to do one, we could maybe do like a hair versus hair one because he cut my hair. So maybe a hair versus hair death match would be pretty cool.
Check it out, Matt. You better tell Chelsea.
Yeah,
we get mad at you.
Let me ask you this as let me ask you this as an indie wrestler and
I love this.
As a person who I guess we're going to talk about spots.
Okay.
This is the way to me, my personal opinion, I feel like it's pointless, but I get it if it gets the match over. But I want to know your opinion since you're actually in the business. Do you feel like in the hardcore matches, the light bulbs are overused?
The light bulbs, man. That shit. I mean, those guys, they're presenting their art form, right? This is me being my political answer. But I'll say this. One light bulb's too much for me. Those things slice you up. They are no joke. Then you got to wrestle after them. They're still in the ring. You're falling on that. You're getting sliced up residually.
That's a good point.
So that's indie wrestling. That's what I'm saying. They got some sweepers, but they might not got the best sweepers. God, so I would say, but they do go crazy. There's some people doing some wild stuff. I mean, that's not my vibe. So I'm trying to think. I never did any like glass or anything, I don't think. I fell into a barbed wire rope. That's probably the most, hardcore I'd go. But I'm not a tube guy. There's times, but sometimes it does get a little crazy. And, everyone wants to one-up each other. So
exactly.
I lean that way. But again, there's some hardcore motherfuckers that would hit me with a stack of 10 tubes. So I got to watch what I say.
Yeah, listen, man. Yeah, talking shit on. Remember talking shit on that podcast?
No, yeah.
But yeah, like that was a good point that you also said. Like, having to deal with all of that shit afterwards too. Like, even if you aren't one of those guys, like you get back in that ring, bro. It's whatever happened before you. That's what you
never know when there's gonna be a scrap up or
right.
Something that someone didn't see.
One thing that I saw. Here's the crazy shit that where you don't even think. We had last episode we had on the Godfather. Yeah, Papa Shango.
He's the man.
Not him. Not the God. Sorry, I should have said it faster. His nephew came on and talked with us. I wish it was a Godfather. He's looking for you, Godfather. Yeah. But he gave us a lot of like insight about like what he used to see and different people he met, the Undertaker, a whole bunch of different stuff being around him.
Yeah.
And it was interesting when he was telling us about the ring and like how hard the turnbuckles are and stuff like that. Yeah. The ring, it's not soft like you would think.
No.
And Sami Zayn did a spot when he was fighting Roman Reigns, his usual spot where he does on the outside of the ropes, he does his torpedo dive through the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, but he sliced his whole fucking chest, man.
Yeah,
remember that shit? Like,
yeah, I've never seen the pic.
Bruh, and I'm sitting there saying, like, just simple stuff like that. Like, that's just a regular spot for you. But you're in a match, main event fucking match. You can't stop. You can't do shit.
No.
You just got to sit here and deal with the pain. You got to sit here and deal with whatever repercussions that's happening. How do you deal with that? Like, is it just the adrenaline or is it just like, fuck it? Like, it is what it is.
Well, you said it, you're like main event. That's when it happens. That's when you're going hard. You know what I mean? You're going hard. That's when you do get banged up, but you just keep rocking because you want to get that win or crush it. It's a main event. You just got to keep rolling. It is some adrenaline that I was gonna say with Sami Zayn. He probably didn't even notice. He was probably zooming, crushing it at main event. So, and I did go to a Raw like probably 7 months ago, maybe 6 months ago when they were in Cleveland, and we had Unreal tickets. They were like right front row, and just hearing the building explode off that place was something I haven't heard at a wrestling show in maybe my whole life.
Really?
So at that venue, you know what I mean? It was pretty epic. So Sami Zayn was probably just rolling. He was in that match too.
Yeah, bro. That was that elimination chamber match too.
Okay.
Man. Yeah, shit was his wife and then was there. It was in his hometown, I think. Yeah, he probably he could have lost an arm. He probably fucking like
he
was just rocking with it.
Seriously.
So Wes, I gotta ask you a couple other questions real quick. Like what moves have you found yourself, or what's like, we got, WWE 2K24, we playing the shit out of that right now.
Yeah.
If you had to like create yourself in that, what move set would you be like, giving them? What's your top?
My finisher would be the super stroke, which would be Jeff Jarrett, the stroke off the middle rope though. And if you could do it through a table, that'd probably be my finisher. I got a frog splash. The stroke when you got the guy and you slam him down, you know what I'm saying? Double J, look at.
I gotta remember it. I don't remember his move.
Yeah, that's so I like using that. But I would since it's a video game, I would bump it up a notch, hit it off the top of rope, something through a table or a ladder or something, and then a frog splash. I like a old school Art Bar-esque frog splash, kind of low down-ish,
Yeah,
so
low down. That was my shit. I love the low down and the sky high. Those two are my favorite fucking moves.
Well, when AJ Styles did a low down too, it was tough as fuck too. That was pretty badass. But and then the Lamborghini leg lock, the figure four.
That's your shit. Okay.
Yeah. Snap a tibia and a fibia. You know what I mean?
I love the figure four.
Yeah.
I got a funny question for you, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Since it's become the DDT of wrestling now, is there a cap on the indies on how many super kicks can go out in each match?
I don't know. There's a guy that'll hit you 5 times in the same match with it, so I just duck. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at this point. They're coming with the super kick, so I just duck. Schoolboy or get them in the fucking figure four. Yeah, so no, it makes tape study easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, you're right about it. Remember the super kick used to be super kick used to be the Shawn Michaels fucking finisher, man. Even before it was the Sweet Chin Music, it was just the super kick.
Yeah.
It's crazy that like everybody utilizes it now, and I love it. I'm not bitching about it at all, but it is crazy that like that is such a used move in all the fucking wrestling, and so many people use it so well.
For
You know
sure.
what I'm saying? Kevin
Yeah.
Owens shit, Dolph Ziggler shit is incredible.
Oh yeah, Dolph.
Carmella
Shot of nowhere too.
Yeah, Carmella had a sweet fucking super kick.
Underrated opinion. Lance Storm had a nice ass super kick.
Lance
Bro.
did have a fire one. Yeah.
Damn, I'd have to see his shit. I remember Lance Storm just for saying, what the fuck was his opening line? He said, let me be serious for a minute. Let me be, nigga, you always serious.
I mean, dude held 3 titles at once. I mean,
partnered with Jericho.
I tell people all this all the time. Is he probably top 10 technical wrestlers? Yes. Is he going to give you a fire promo? No.
Hell no. Yo, Wes, like I said, like your character alone, like you can see, like you definitely got, like you fucking basically gave promos on the show today. But what do you what do you try to resemble? Fuck old school. Fuck old school for a minute. Let's go new school. Give me like some guys that just new for you. Where you're like, man, listen, I could have promo on that motherfucker right now.
I mean, LA Knight is my favorite guy, but I would love to go in a promo with him and see if I could, step up.
You think you could take him?
I think if the situation was right, you know what I mean? Because I got to put on like 20 pounds too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, big dude.
You know what I mean? Put on 20 pounds, maybe get like a goon or something with me, and then I'd be a little more,
confident.
Yeah. But he's awesome. I like just hearing what he's saying. And then The Rock, you don't know, because The Rock is just saying that's really like, I'm just being 100% honest. I put on these Rock promos because like WWE puts them on like the night of, like 20 minutes later. So after SmackDown, I'll see it like on Twitter. Someone's like, "Oh, look at The Rock," and then I'll just watch like this half-hour clip. And I'm just, The Rock. He's the most electrifying man. He's
hilarious, bro.
So and then I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I'm just on a vibe where I'll just have people film me. This is me just being honest. I'll just have people film me, and I'll just talk some shit, and then I'll break it down, and then we'll replace it. But sometimes it's one take less, and we just send it out. A lot of the time, I'm going to be honest, a lot of the time it's one take less.
I love that original shit, bro. Yeah. You don't got to wait about nothing. One person I respect the shit out of, and I know this is going to sound like a basic answer, but John Cena, man, even though he does, I don't think he gets enough props. John Cena's promos are not just shit talking. John Cena's promos are honest, direct, and true.
He was a real dude. He was a real dude. He was vulnerable every week, man.
He will destroy you if you can't talk on the mic, yo.
For sure.
Cena was fucking crazy on the mic, bro.
Yeah. You know whose promos I love, man? That's a lot of my boy Miz.
Oh,
Miz. Yes, no doubt.
I would love to meet the Miz. That's one person I really want to meet.
Yeah, he's from your town, Ohio,
he's
right?
From Cleveland. I never met him.
Oh, you lucky SOB. You're getting SummerSlam there.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, that's right.
So we'll see what happens that weekend. I'm really looking forward to it. That's a big announcement for Cleveland. And,
awesome.
For sure.
Super awesome. Yeah. Miz is a beast on the mic too. Miz is somebody who, because of where he came from, I don't think people give him the credit that he really deserves. He's phenomenal,
right?
Especially on the fucking mic, like he's phenomenal. But Wes, man, listen, it's been really great having you on, man. I'm definitely gonna make sure I put your stuff into the thing so people can follow you. Yeah. And listen, that Matt Cardona, I'm telling you, I'm gonna clip the shit out of it and I'm putting it everywhere. So I post every fucking where. So
all right, we'll see.
Get ready.
You know what I mean? We'll see. I'm ready to rock. I called him out the other day, so I'm ready to rock.
Oh shit, yeah, I'm gonna put it out. I'm fucking putting it out for sure.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on, man. It was awesome chopping it up with you guys. We should do it again soon.
I definitely, you're more than welcome anytime, bro. Appreciate we usually have our girl Lay in here. She actually just got sick. We thought she was gonna be able to come back tonight, but I guess she's not feeling too well. But we got to have you come back on. We'll talk some more about like recent stuff that you're doing. This was like more of a get to know you.
Where you guys live at? Where you guys live at?
I'm in Atlanta. I'm from Jersey, but I'm in Atlanta now.
All right.
I'm originally from Jersey too, but I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina right now.
North Carolina. All right. So those are 2 towns that got wrestling all the time. So I'm going to get on the show this year. We're marking it down 2024. I'll see you guys at a show as well, too.
Let's go.
We're going to make that happen.
Let me know, bro. I'm there. I just want to see you wrestle and see your personality in live because them pictures, guys, go check them out. If you see this motherfucker's pictures, you're going to be like, all right, this motherfucker going to be fun to watch. Like, that's what I thought when I saw him and shit. I was like, all right. He got that character down. Yo, Wes, man.
Thank you.
I hope you have a great night, brother.
You too. I appreciate you guys having me on. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. All right, bro.
See ya.
Slim, man, whew, that was a fucking great interview, man. Yeah, really great guy. Guys, go check out Wes Barkley, man. He's got a lot of character. You can just tell by talking to him. He's got a
Good.
lot of personality, man.
I think it's cool to see what we don't get to see as fans. This is somebody who is on the grind, in the gym, in the ring, doing this night in, night out, who dedicated their life to it. Thank you again for coming on the show. Matt Cardona, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on too, brother.
Listen,
Chelsea
bro,
Greenberg.
I would love that, man. Me and Matt Cardona would probably get lost. I'm telling you right now, one thing that I had when I was a kid, I wish I wasn't so destructive and mess stuff up, is on my wrestling collection. I had so many wrestlers, yo. Like almost all of them motherfuckers. Ric Flair, Rick Rude, Jim Duggan, Bret Hart. I had all of them shits, bro. And I used to break them and fuck up. I wish I had all that stuff still. And I love his collection. Slim, I see you back at work, man. You having a good night, man? You back hustling hard, huh?
Yeah, man. We was off for a week, but we've got about 8 weeks left in the semester, and then I'll have more free time during the summer.
Bro.
Getting ready to close up here, so I think we pretty much finished up in a good time.
Perfect. That's perfect. Hey, listen, I just want to say, listen, y'all see Slim. You know, Lay is not feeling well. We can't wait for Lay to get back. But Slim, man, you rain, sleet, or snow, bro. I respect the shit out of you, bro, because you still jump on, you ask questions and engage. Like I said, man, Beeline, I definitely am going to be having more people come on here. So I really hope you guys are really vibing with Straight Through the Ropes. We got wrestlers that we're talking with. We got different referees we're talking with. Like, we got a lot of new stuff coming. So I hope you guys are enjoying the conversation. It's going to be really fun having these people come on, learning them, like, you know, maybe even coming on and joining the conversation. We're doing our prediction shows and stuff like that. So we definitely got a lot coming. I keep talking about my belts. I'm telling you right now, I'm about to order my damn belt. I'm about to get a belt. I'm trying to struggling because it's a lot of money I'm trying to drop on this shit, man. And I want the real shit. Slim, you know what I'm talking about? You know, bro, them fucking belts on WWE like $500, man.
When I went to Revolution, they were selling titles no less than $850.
Bro, it's crazy, man. I thought it was gonna be like a little $200 I was gonna drop, but I don't know. I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to decide if I want to
replica.
For real, like, and I don't want a replica. I want the heavy shit. I'm gonna be on this fucking show. What's it called? Like, I'm telling you right now, I don't know, but yeah, we're trying to figure out something between STR and the game and commission. And Warren had a good idea to, like, you know, I know our guy Shiz on Off the Top Rope podcast. He has like a belt where, like, you know, they do predictions. I'm not gonna lie, we thinking about that as well, like, you know, getting a title and kind of having, like, you know, who's winning the predictions and stuff like that, just to keep it interesting, man. It is something that's fun. But we'll see, man. We're definitely gonna have more to come. But Slim, I know you got to go ahead and get out. Hey, Beeline, thank you guys so much for following. I hope you guys really enjoyed Wes's appearance today. He'll definitely be back on the show. I'm gonna keep in touch with him. Go check him out if you're in this area. He's wrestling a lot, man. He's got a lot of really good match history, and he's definitely very charismatic, man. He's a charismatic guy. So enjoyed the interview today. But guys, listen, man. Slim, you got anything in closing, bro?
I think we're all good, man. We're still on the road to WrestleMania. We got Jimmy versus Jay. Official now.
Yes.
Shaping up to be really good. One thing we haven't had in a long time, a 6-team ladder match announced. So
that shit looks great.
Good. I gotta see what's gonna happen between these tag matches and the main event title matches at Mania, because what I'm feeling is going to happen is Seth's going to be too distracted and Drew's going to do what he does. But I also feel like you a little bit. I feel like everybody's forgetting about Priest. So I think when Drew has his quote unquote moment, then here comes Damian with a cash in.
Yeah, possible.
Or they could pull a whole 360 and have Cody finish the story, but here come Priest to say, "Nuh-uh, I don't care. You had your 2 seconds of fun. Now it's mine."
Right.
So you never know. I think it's going to be interesting.
Real.
The only thing I don't agree with right now is, let's see the direction they're going. I felt like it should have been more of Logan Paul versus LA Knight going into
We've been saying that. Yeah, we definitely been saying that one. The Randy Orton thing is a little weird, bro. I think it should have been LA too. I don't think Randy needs that big shot right now, man.
I think it's more so for Logan. I think because he's working with a bigger star.
Yeah,
But to me, the AJ LA Knight match just feels thrown together.
I said the same thing. I said the
Like,
same thing, bro.
I feel like they had like the only thing they had against each other was they both got screwed over by the bloodline, and now you
Yeah.
have beef because none of you can get to the bloodline.
I
Like,
honestly don't feel like that should even be a setup for Mania. Like that should be some shit that they just handle throughout until Mania. But I
exactly.
mean, you got to give them something to do, I guess. But I do feel like it is wasted. I think like it is wasted. I feel like there's more of a story with AJ and even like the Good Brothers and shit like that. Like if they just did something with the OC, I'd be more interested in just seeing that direction. But LA Knight, man, I'm sorry to say it, but I feel like we were all right when we were saying they put LA Knight in that title picture too quickly, man. I think he kind of fizzed out faster than he was having the spark under. And I love LA Knight. I'm not hating, but I'm just saying it just seems like that.
Me too.
I don't know, but we'll see, bro. All right, Slim. Well, guys, until next time, next week we'll be back. We are getting closer to Mania. Next week, hopefully, we got everybody in the room. I don't think we're gonna have any interviews. I'm gonna try to keep no interviews until Mania is over. Then we'll unless somebody hits me up. Somebody hits me up and it's like, yo, listen, hell, you can come on, bring your ass. But until next time, guys, stay true, stay positive, pay attention. Thank you guys so much for watching. We love you guys. Keep following, and we'll be back next week, Wednesday night. Wrestle Talk. Y'all got it. All right, Slim. Be good, brother.
You too.
Good night,
man.
guys.